Hello, welcome to the Winthrop Creator Space. My name is Anna and today I'm going to be showing you how to use the Epson large format printer. The first thing that you're going to do is load your paper. We have two main types of paper in the Creator Space. We have a semi-gloss luster or an enhanced matte. Today we're going to be loading the enhanced matte paper. So I'm going to take the paper out of the box. I'm going to carefully pick it up and I'm going to set it in the little lip on the front edge of the printer. Then I'm going to open up the lid of the printer and I'm going to take out the two little spindles. To do that, there's a lock and unlock button, so I flip the lever down to unlock the two spindles and I take them out. These spindles are adjustable, so there's a little flap on the back and you can press the button down to make them for either 3-inch tubes or 2-inch tubes. The enhanced matte has a larger opening in the end of the tube, so I'm going to go up to a 3-inch. Once I'm ready to put the spindle in the end of the paper, there's a little flap on the back and I open it up like so, and that loosens it up a bit so that I can put it in the end of the paper. Once it's inserted and it's flat with the edge of the paper, I push the lever down to lock it in place. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Now my paper is ready to go into the printer. To put my paper into the printer, I very carefully, with clean hands, pick up the roll and I slide it into the right side first so that it lines up with the little metal piece that's sticking out the right side of the printer. Once it's aligned, then I slide this part over on the left, and once it's completely flush to the right side, then I lock the spindle back in place. Now my paper is ready to load. So now I'm going to turn the printer on. And on the top right hand corner, there is a button, and I'm going to press that and that will release the pressure. So it now gives me a message that says pressure roller released, load paper. When I'm ready to load the paper, I'm going to pull a little bit of this paper out, and there's a little groove on the top right hand corner on a piece of metal. So that's sort of a guide that will help me make sure that my paper is lined up and straight. Now I'm going to slide the paper into the machine. Once the machine is loaded with paper, then I press the button again, and the printer is going to roll the paper back and forth until it's in the proper place for printing. So now when I come back over to the printer screen, I see a prompt that says selected paper type, enhanced matte. I am using enhanced matte, so I'm going to select keep the settings above. But if I wanted to change settings, I could just click the down arrow, and then it gives me a lot of other options for paper. Our other primary paper type is photo paper, and then you arrow down to semi-gloss 170, which is our other most popular paper. But today we're going to go with matte paper, so I scroll down to matte, enhanced matte, and then it tells me that it's ready to go. These are my ink levels, so they're telling me that I have plenty of ink. If you do need to replace the ink, if any of them are low, I'll show you how to do that at the end of this video. Right now I'm going to show you how to get your files set up on Photoshop so that you're ready to print. Okay, now I'm going to show you how I set my files up and get them ready to print. This is my file. So first thing I'm gonna do is check and see what the size of it is. So I go image, oh, I'm also in Photoshop, by the way. So I go image size, and it's telling me that it's roughly 18 inches tall by 20 inches wide. We're going to charge you in the creator space by the linear footage. So it's important that you keep in mind you're being charged for however many linear feet of paper that you print. And a monitor can help you estimate what that price is going to be. Our paper roll is 44 inches wide. So I like to begin by creating a file that's 44 inches wide by however tall my image is. So since mine is roughly 18 inches tall, I'm going to go up to File, New, and make sure that I'm on inches. I'm going to type in that my width is 44 inches wide and my height is 18 inches tall. You want to have your resolution as high as possible, so I've got my resolution at 300. It's also important that your images are all the same resolution. So now that I'm ready, I'm going to click Create. So now I go back to my image. Oops, it's this one. I'm going to go Select All, Edit, Copy, come back over to my 44 inch wide image, and I'm going to paste it in. You can see that right now, if I print, I'm wasting a bunch of white paper. So if you have another image or two that you want to add to fill in this space, that's a good idea since you're going to be charged for that linear footage anyway. Our printer does not have a full bleed, which means it can't always print accurately all the way to the edge of the paper. I like to give myself about a ½ inch to an inch of space on each side of my image. So I've gotten another picture ready that I think will fit right here. So we're going to go Select All, Edit, Copy, go back to our 44 inch document and paste it in. Oops. Edit, copy. Oh, if you have multiple layers, it's a good idea to merge them. So I'm going to go Layer, Merge Visible, and now I can pick up the entire image. So Edit, Copy, go back to my 44 inch wide document and paste it in. And so now this fills up most of my white space, so I'm not wasting a bunch of paper. My image fills up the screen pretty much, and I have a little bit of white space on each side. So now I'm ready to print. So now I go up to File, and I'm going to go to Print. This is going to pull up my print menu. It's really important that we choose the correct paper. There are 3 places that we need to make sure that we choose the correct paper in order for our colors to come out correctly. So first thing I do is make sure that I see my printer selected. This is the Epson P8000 series. And then I'm going to go to Print Settings. From here I want to first of all change my paper size. So right now my paper size is 8.5 by 11, and we know that that's not correct. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to go to Manage Custom Sizes. In order to add a new size, I'm going to click the little plus button, and I'm going to enter in the width as 44 inches and the height as 18 inches. And we'll just leave everything else the way it is. Okay, now that I have changed my paper size, I want to go down where it says Layout, and I'm going to choose Printer Settings. This is really, really important because this is going to determine the color profile that our printer is going to select, and it's important to match our colors that we have this correct paper setting here. So under Page Setup, I like to select Roll Paper, Borderless, Retain Size. And you can see here it says Media Type, Premium Luster Photo Paper. That is not the paper that we're working with today. We're using an enhanced matte. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to go down to Matte Paper, and I'm going to choose Enhanced Matte. Then you're going to see an option for ink. Your choices are either matte black or photo black. This is kind of personal preference, and you can talk to a monitor about how to make the correct choice there, but I like to go with photo black. And so now that I have all of that stuff set up properly, and I'm going to leave the rest of it how it is, then I go to save. But I'm not finished yet. Now you can see that my picture looks the way it's going to print. So it says it's 44 inches by 18 inches. Here it says color handling. I want to change that to Photoshop manages colors. And where it says printer profile, this is the second place that you need to check and make sure you have the correct paper. So here I've got all my Epson papers, and I'm going to choose enhanced matte paper. And then there's two different enhanced matte paper. There's enhanced matte paper underscore MK and enhanced matte paper underscore PK. That MK and PK refers to matte black or photo black. And so since I'm running photo black, I'm going to click PK. So now I have selected the correct paper in two places. I selected it under my print settings, and I selected it right here. So those are the only things that I should need to change. And now I'm going to click print and proceed. So now hopefully my image is going to send over to the printer. So now you can see that my print is coming out of the printer. The cool thing about this printer is when the print is finished, it'll cut the paper perfectly and drop your print right down below. I usually try to catch it in case there are dust bunnies on the floor because I don't want my print to get dirty. After you're finished, make sure that you take the paper back out, release the suction, take the paper out, put it carefully back in the box. Okay, earlier I told you that sometimes you might get a message that says low on ink. These are all of our ink colors, and when you're low on ink, you'll have a little exclamation point that will pop up on one of these colors. So I'm going to show you now how to replace the ink. First thing you want to do is push this little button, and this is going to unlock the door to where all the ink goes inside the printer. So you're going to click, I can never remember which is on which, so I always just click open both covers. And you'll hear a sound that sounds like gas releasing, and then these little doors kind of pop open. There's one on this side, and then there's one over here. So let's pretend that we need to replace our yellow ink. So you just come over and give it a gentle push with your finger, which unlocks it, and now you can take the cartridge out. There's a little chip on the top of the cartridge. It's really important that you don't touch that and get your fingerprint on it, because that is how the printer knows that you are replacing yellow ink. So before you put a new cartridge in, you just open up the new pack with the new cartridge in it, give it a good shake, then replace it, give it a push to lock it in place, make sure you close the door, make sure you close the other door, and now you're good to go.